Welcome to Get Your Next Raise. Once you have asked for your raise, there are three likely outcomes. Let's walk through the three likely outcomes and plan your next steps for each one. This may not be obvious, but all three of the outcomes we'll discuss in this lesson are useful to you as you continue to build your career. Get Your Next Raise is designed to help you achieve one of these three outcomes and remove the uncertainty that comes with waiting for your next raise to come to you. We'll start with the disappointing result. It's possible your request wasn't granted. This can be frustrating, but it can also be very useful information. You would not have requested your raise if you hadn't done the research and the work to justify your request. So you need to determine if your raise isn't available right now, or if the raise you requested simply isn't achievable in your current role at your current company. Then you can plan your next move. Here's what you might say to your manager if your request is not granted. I'm disappointed that we couldn't adjust my salary to $75,000. Can we please talk about what I need to do specifically to earn that raise? And can we talk about a timetable for when it might be feasible? You're asking for two things here: specific guidance on how to justify the goal you set for your salary, and a timetable so you know how long the process will take. Your manager's answers to these questions will tell you whether you simply need to continue adding value until the timing is right, or if the raise you're pursuing simply isn't available in your current position at your current company. There are two common answers to these questions. The first common answer is not yet. This isn't a yes and it's not a no, but it's still a useful result because it is the beginning of a collaboration with your manager to make sure you're taking on new responsibilities that are valuable to your company. There are two things you should do in this case. Start by working with your manager to formulate a new plan. In this course, you identified your goal, created a plan to reach that goal, and executed the plan to get your next raise, but you didn't quite reach your goal for some reason. Talk to your manager to determine where you missed the mark and, most importantly, ask your manager to help you formulate a new plan with specific things you can do to get your next raise. It is also important to discuss a timeline for your new plan. You want to know what you need to do and how long it should take to get your next raise. Both components, a plan and a timeline, are an important part of setting a goal that you can achieve while measuring your progress as you go. You may also get a simple no when you ask for a raise. This is disappointing in the short term. There's no denying that. But this answer also gives you very valuable information that will benefit you in the long term. Now you know for sure that a raise is not available to you at your current company, so you can make an objective decision about how important a raise is to you and use this information to decide whether to stay the course at your current company or begin looking for other opportunities to get your next raise elsewhere. Here's a summary of what to do when your raise is not achievable in your current role. Start by considering other options. You may need to find a new job at a new company, but it's possible you should pursue a different job at your current company. In other words, you might need to leave your company, but there may be opportunities for you to get promoted into a new position with higher pay where you can get your next raise at your current company. Your manager should be able to help identify the best option for you and work with you to pursue a promotion to a new role if there's a position available. There's one more thing to consider when your request for a raise isn't granted. You may be other-valued for the company or role that you're in. What I mean by other-valued is that it's possible you're extremely good at what you do and that you have accomplished a lot in your current role, but that your specific company or industry simply doesn't value your specific skill set. Maybe you're really, really good at client-facing customer service, but your company is outsourcing that function to another company or is working to automate customer service as much as possible. Or maybe you're very strong in a certain technology that your company just doesn't use very much anymore. In that case, you should take some time to look for industries or companies that do place a higher value on your skill set and experience. The best path to get your next raise may be changing companies or even industries to find opportunities where you can earn more money with your specific skill set and experience. This is also a very good time to slow down and do some soul searching and consider your situation. It's possible you need to consider other options, or that you're undervalued or other-valued. It's also possible you jumped the gun and weren't quite as prepared as you thought you were to get your next raise. Your manager's feedback should help with this, so make sure you're open-minded and listening carefully to any feedback you get when you ask for your raise. Now let's talk about the good result, when you get your next raise right away. When you ask for a raise, yes is the answer you're hoping for. This means your current company recognizes all the value that you add as part of the team. It also means you can stop leaving money on the table and start collecting a bigger paycheck. But you don't want to stop moving forward just because of one win. It's never too early to start looking ahead to your next raise, setting your goal, and making a plan. You can go back to the beginning of this course, set your next goal, and start planning for your next raise right now. This will help you stay sharp and will ultimately help you get the most out of your career. Here's a short summary of your action items for this lesson. When your manager says you're not quite ready to get your next raise, work with them to create a specific plan and timeline to achieve your goal. When your manager tells you that the raise you asked for simply isn't available in your current role at your current company, it might be time to start considering other options to continue moving forward in your career. That could mean pursuing a promotion to a new role at your current company, or even looking for a new role at a new company. If your request was granted, that's great news, but don't stand still. The sooner you plan for your next raise, the more you'll earn over the course of your career. The most important thing is that you start planning your next move now. Use the Get Your Next Raise worksheet to start planning your next steps. The longer you wait to take your next steps, the more money you will leave on the table over the course of your career. Thanks for taking Get Your Next Raise. I would love to hear what you thought of the course, so please use the feedback section of the lesson notes to tell me about your experience.